Steph and welcome back to my channel. So what I have for you guys is some more travel tips and tricks that I acquired when going to Aruba. So I recently went to Aruba and I'd never been there before. Guys, the 5 things that I wish I knew before going there. I know that before I go on a trip, if you're like me, you like to do a ton of research, and I do that. You know, I join the Facebook groups, I ask people around what to do, what their experience was like. I still found like at least 5 things that I didn't know based on all of the research I did ahead of time. So with that being said, let's get right into it. Okay, so the first thing that I wish that I knew before going to Aruba was, like, there's no crime in Aruba. You can literally go there and feel so safe no matter what resort that you're at. It's so developed. It's not like some third world country or anything like that. It just makes you feel safe. So I didn't really take that too seriously when I went there. I know a lot of people were like, oh, you don't have to worry about anything, but I didn't understand like to the extent until I got there. But you can literally have like your expensive shoes, bags, and everything just completely laid out in your hut on the beach and not have to worry about a thing. All of the workers there are so genuinely happy to be there, and you can tell when I feel like staff is sort of putting on their customer service face and voice, and they're not necessarily, you know, happy to be at work, because who's really happy to be at work? I know that I'm definitely never happy to be at work most of the time. Like, cab drivers were also like so nice and normal, and, you know, would make small talk, but not in the way of like, oh, they wanted to like get to know information from you, or, you know, they were just trying to make sure you were going to give them a good tip or anything like that. And it was just so refreshing. It just added such a nice, you know, took that stress out. It just made the trip so much better to know that like I could leave my things out and not worry about somebody taking it. And they are more than happy to go out of their way for you, and they feel like, it feels like they love their job, which is so nice. You know, I feel like you don't really get that a lot of places. So, and I've traveled quite a bit, and that was the only place where I really experienced that, other than when we went to the Maldives. That was the only place that was maybe similar, but I don't know, the people in Aruba just seemed way more nice. If you're interested in knowing more about that, you can go ahead and look at another one of my videos. So when we went to Aruba, we stayed at the Aruba Marriott Resort and Stellaris, and that's on Palm Beach. And if you don't know, Palm Beach is one of the like most amazing beaches in like the world. If you go on, there's like a Conde Nast article that like listed the top like 10 beaches, and Palm Beach, Aruba is on there. So if you are planning on going to Aruba, I would just, why not visit one of the best beaches in the world, right? There's like a strip of resorts. I highly recommend doing that. But just so you know, if you do choose a resort that's not on that strip, it's still going to be stunning and beautiful and the best vacation ever. So you don't ever have to worry about that. The next thing that I wish I knew about Aruba before going is how casual it is. So like I said, I was doing a lot of research, and I was trying to figure out like how to dress or what to bring. And when I go on vacation, I like to buy all new clothes and like really nice outfits and feel fancy because, you know, I'm feeling myself on vacation. But Aruba is not necessarily the place you want to be super fancy. Even the fancy restaurants are not fancy. It depends on your definition of fancy. It just wasn't, it was considered casual for my taste. Everyone else has their own definition of what fancy is, but for me it was still like a cute casual vibe, not necessarily get all decked out in heels and, you know, that kind of vibe. You know, some denim and a nice top and some flats and you're set. Oh, it's not like when you're going out in Miami and you want to be all decked out and your outfits and things like that. You can totally dress up, take your Instagram photo and stuff like that, which of course I did. But just know that it's not necessary. It's not really the vibe there. It is island vibes and it's not super, super casual. But I would say it's definitely even their fanciest place. If it says fancy in the description of the restaurant, it's still not fancy. If you guys want more information on the restaurants and why I chose the restaurants that I went to, just, let me know and I can totally do a whole video on that, because the food in Aruba is, oh my god, it's fantastic. Never gonna get a bad meal in Aruba no matter where you eat. But some restaurants were just like above. So let me know if you want me to do something on that. But anyway, what was I just saying? So the next helpful tip that I have, which is really going to like save you, Aruba can be expensive. And my best recommendation to you, and I know a lot of people say this, but like my tip's a little bit better than their tip. My best advice is to definitely bring a tumbler cup that keeps the ice cold for like a long time, and go to the supermarket, or if the line's not long in the terminal, go to that liquor store, buy yourself a bottle. It's gonna be cheapest at the supermarket, just so you know. You get the ice from the ice machine, put it in your cups, and it's just like the best thing that you can do. You can bring it in the water with you. Nobody's gonna say anything about having a tumbler cup. Even if you do decide to get drinks from the bar, ask them to put it inside of your tumbler cup, because at least the ice or any drink that we got, we would take the cup that they gave us and then we would pour it into our tumbler cups, because it is so hot in Aruba, the ice is gonna melt like immediately. That way you can enjoy yourself, have a couple of drinks, and really save a lot of money. So that then leads me into my next tip, which I did kind of know but didn't fully understand, and I'll explain that. Is to not do all-inclusive. I was told not to do all-inclusive by a lot of people who had been to Aruba tens of thousands of times. I don't 100% feel comfortable not doing all-inclusive. So what I decided to do was, since we went to a Marriott, because I always go to a Marriott because we're Marriott Rewards members, love Marriott. Marriott, sponsor me. What we did was upgrade to the club level. So we did the Trade Winds Club, and I can definitely talk more on that if that's something that you're interested in and whether or not to do it. But we thought that it would save us money in the end, and it definitely did. And it was sort of like an all-inclusive without actually being like an all-inclusive. It didn't include everything. If I knew about the alcohol beforehand, like how easy it would be to just go to a supermarket, get a bottle, and just make it in my room, we definitely would have done that. We couldn't make it to the liquor store that was right inside the terminal when you get off the plane. Flight was delayed and we had dinner reservations and stuff like that. You don't want to stay at your resort most of the time. There are so many restaurants in Aruba that have the most fantastic food. Don't hold yourself back from eating the most delicious food in the entire world. You don't want to hold yourself in the resort when you're on an island that is just full of so many exciting things to see, do, eat, and everything. So I would definitely recommend not doing all-inclusive, but save your money by buying the alcohol and things like that at the supermarket. But yeah, you're gonna want to eat the food there. You're gonna want to eat at a bunch of different places, not the same places over and over again for your stay. So the fifth and final tip that I'm gonna give you guys that I wish that I knew before I went to Aruba, really upset that I didn't know this before going there, is the fact that US Customs is located in Aruba. We didn't necessarily arrive late to the airport for our flight, but we definitely did not arrive early. We just made it onto our flight the second we got through. you have to go through the regular line to check your bag and everything. You have to go through security. After you go through security, you have to wait on another line to get your bag. It's not that you get on your flight, you fly back home, and then you're gonna go through customs there. Wish I knew that. And we waited on this line for forever. And so many people were so late for their flights and things got delayed because who knew? Like, traveling from Aruba to New York, I just assumed that everything was going to be done when I got to New York, and that was not true. Everything was done in Aruba, so please keep in mind that you have to give yourself enough time to go through customs. Those are the 5 things that I wish I knew ahead of time, even after doing all of my research before going to Aruba. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, comments, ideas, and things like that, please do not hesitate to comment them below. And if you haven't already, please check out my video on our whole trip to Aruba and where we stayed and what we ate, what restaurants and things like that. But if you want any more information, you can find me on social media. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you later.